Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from whatever you're watching this channel. Now, for the better part of last week, there was a communication from the Generation Z movement about a 7 days rage. The 7 days rage was supposed to elapse today. You know, today being the 7th of July 2024. Earlier on, I came across a video from Boniface Mwangi. You know, Boniface Mwangi, if you go to X, he calls himself the People's Watchman. Now, Boniface Mwangi had shared a picture of Uhuru Park preparations because it's alleged that is where now SabaSaba celebrations are up in Malaysia climax, if I can call it that way. But according to the plan, Chana, ilikuwa ni kanisani. Of course, we expect them wataenda kanisani so that in those churches, they execute the occupied churches call that bars any kind of politician from making any statement from that within the church pulpit. So I want to take you through a series of footages that I've managed to collect from what's happening on the ground, because you know, here in YOLENO TV we always give you information as it occurs. So like this video, and I'm so happy for everybody who has been liking our videos. It's so important to our channel, and I don't take that for granted. Subscribe to our channel if you've not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I was telling you about a footage that Boniface Mwangi shared regarding the ongoing preparations from the Uhuru Park. Maybe you might want to watch this video.
We're now doing setup at Uhuru Park for the concert. That you must remember, there will be no politician speaking here. No politician speaking tomorrow.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. That is Boniface Mwangi who took that video and shared it with people. And that video was shared at around, I saw it at around, was it midnight? Yeah, that is the time I saw that video. Around there, 2 a.m. So let's head over to another story regarding the same SabaSaba day. Because there was talk that the Nairobi City Council had promised that they are going to offer security to the attendees of the SabaSaba call. Now, this is a positive step towards the fight for democracy and the social justice. The Generation Z movement seems to be taking shape, and if at all the Nairobi County has agreed to do that, then that would mean that Nairobi County pia imeona kwamba kuna pressure. You know, earlier in the days, that used not to happen. In fact, what they would do, they would close that place, and probably people would go for open grounds like Kamukunji grounds, you know, those places, because those are places which are a bit public. They would deny the opposition leaders from accessing such government assets.
The history of democracy in Kenya can be traced back to the 7th of July 1990 to a pro-democracy rally organized by opposition groups at Kamukunji ground in Nairobi.
So kwa wale ambao walifuatilia ile funeral session ya Rex Masai, Rex Masai ndio mmoja wale ambao waandamanaji ambao walipigwa risasi mara ya kwanza kabisa. So Rex Masai pale kulikuwa na Boniface Mwangi ambaye alikuja pale na akatoa statement yake. Na Boniface Mwangi ukimwangalia alikuwa na machozi yanamlenga yani pale. Ukiangalia ni mtu ambao anasikia tu kulia kabisa, because to him ile kitu ilikuwa imemgusa kabisa.
Thank you. To Mama Rex, I have no words for you. I was at home when I was called that there was a body on my avenue and someone had been shot. I've never been to a protest where someone has died. And I found you there shell-shocked with your husband Chris, and I have no words. Your son died a hero. I know it's a heavy price to pay for a mother and a father, that you have to lose your son for Kenya to be liberated from tyranny, dictatorship. But because of your son's sacrifice and 40 others have died, Kenya has changed forever. So I want you to see us as your sons. We shall come and visit. We shall come and support your family from now continuing. And Rex will never be forgotten. His legacy will never be forgotten. I'm a father to 3 kids, and I can't imagine burying a child. So what you're going through is very heavy. But just know this, Kenya has changed because of Rex. He was the first one to die during the peaceful protest. And Kenya will never be the same again because of his sacrifice. And to every young Gen Z in this room, do not be compromised. Don't sell out. Keep demanding for a better. There's something Kikuyu say, don't go down. The demands you're making are sensible. And if they ask you who is our leader for this movement, it's the Kenyan Constitution. Every single thing we're demanding as young people of this country is in the Constitution. RUTO and his government is not doing us a favor when he responds to our demands, because the Constitution of this country, it gives us a right to demand those things. Rex died a hero, and we demand justice for Rex. Thank you.
Well, also to add on to Boniface Mwangi's statement, because in the video that I shared first about the preparation of Uhuru Park for SabaSaba Day, Boniface Mwangi pala alisema kwamba hakutakuwa na politician ambaye ataruhusiwa kuongea. Maybe one of the reasons is because they don't want the government to start looking at the Gen Z's movement from a negative perspective, that inakuwa funded by Azimio. Wajua kumekuwa na narrative, especially from Oscar Sudi, kwamba kuna vigogo, and most of the time Oscar Sudi huwa ana refer to Uhuru Kenyatta. So amesema kwamba kuna political bigwigs who have been financing youths, na akasema kwamba the intention ilikuwa ni to overthrow William Ruto's government. Now, if you look at the way William Ruto has been reacting lately, especially after this call of SabaSaba, William Ruto ameonekana ni kama akona wasiwasi. Zile statement ambazo anazitoa, kama umekuwa ukizifuatizia, ni za mtu ambaye akona wasiwasi. Si rais kabisa upate rais sana akubaliana na kila kitu mwananchi anasema. Kuna two things: either he wants this pressure to cool down so that he goes back to himself, or he really means it. So those are two things. So the SabaSaba call is just going to emphasize and push this narrative further, to lay a solid ground so that his movement will intact.
We commend all those groups who stood on the street against the dictating financial bill. They are the true patriots and true democrats. Today, as a movement in unison, we regret to be the victims of the Finance Bill 2024. As younger Democrats, we are disappointed by the members of parliament who willingly voted yes against the wishes of the people. Yes. We urge you, Kenya members and the public at large, to ignore and unfollow social media and all entities related to the petroleum members in the parliament.
One thing about this movement ambayo imeshtua serikali ni kwamba it is tribeless, it is borderless, it is partyless, it is leaderless. That's why you find that in a statement that Boniface Mwangi released some times back there during the burial ceremony of Rex Masai, he said that if anybody asks you who is the leader of this movement, you should tell that person that it is the Constitution of Kenya. The 2010 Constitution of Kenya is the leader. So that explains why, despite the fact that hakuna kiongozi, but youths huwa wameshikana katika hii call. That's why you find that banner of SabaSaba call, when it was shared, this received massive attention from so many people. Of course, kuna deliberate plan to sabotage the youth movement, because there's talk of youth for UDA. There is talk of youth for UDA. And people are associating Charlene Ruto with that talk, youth for UDA, similar to YK92 during Moi's time. Because during YK92, that is a time Ruto na a team of other youthful leaders, they rose up. They wanted to take over, They wanted to take over the leadership of the country. So they started that campaign during that time, the YK. So there is also talk of youth for UDA, and that was shared by someone who took a keen interest at the political involvement of Charlene Ruto. And most people are saying this youth for UDA wing is likely to be chaired by Charlene Ruto. The move is just trying to create another faction of youth so that youths were divided. Because right now, honestly speaking, if you go to the story of Osama, this blogger who was sometimes back arrested by the person who hosted William Ruto for the engage the president on the Express. This person, there's been a lot of talks, a lot of rumors going around that he was beaten by youths, that people are now distancing themselves from him because many people believe that he was paid. So there could be some element of divide and rule. These youths to be divided into so many groups so that they don't understand each other. Because when a government wants to contain things, contain issues, they will always create the divide and rule strategy. Divide and rule strategy so that at the end of the day, these groups don't agree. These groups, all of them don't agree. If the groups don't agree, then they can't push for a common agenda. But what is threatening to the government is that there is no way they can do that because there is no existing political group or political formation. These are borderless, tribeless, leaderless, youths who are voting to stick by that policy. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you make about this issue of SabaSaba? Because SabaSaba ni kama imeshtua sana William Ruto. Kulingana na matamshi yake, imemshtua sana. Youth wakiconverge pamoja, watamtoa Ruto. Huo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Kama unakataa, nenda pale kwa comment section nielezee. Youths wakiconverge after this SabaSaba call, si watamtoa Ruto? In 2027 election ikifanyika, definitely watamtoa, and Ruto knows it. That explains why he's heeding to the calls, to the demands by the youths, because he knows very well that these are the people who voted for him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps if you're watching this video not subscribed, please take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.